That sounds like a pretty intense story to dive into. Here's a longer version of your title. Last night, while I was tucking our kids into bed, my wife was out with her new friend at a fancy restaurant. She texted, "Don't wait up for me," not knowing I saw them together yesterday. Would you like me to help you develop the story further? If so, I'd love to know more details or any particular direction you want to take it. In.as I tucked our kids into bed. Their soft breaths and occasional giggles filled the room. It was one of those moments that made everything else fade into the background. Yet, tonight, something was different. My mind wasn't fully present. It was preoccupied with thoughts of my wife and her new friend. Her text message earlier that evening had been short and to the point, "Don't wait up for me." There was no indication of where she was or when she would be back. But I knew. I had seen them together yesterday at that same fancy restaurant where they were having dinner tonight. They were sitting at a corner table, engaged in deep conversation, their laughter mingling with the ambient music. I had stood there for a moment, watching them through the window, trying to comprehend what was happening. I wanted to confront her immediately, to demand answers, but something held me back. Perhaps it was the fear of what I might discover, or the uncertainty of how it would impact our family. Instead, I had walked away, pretending I hadn't seen anything. Now, as I sat alone in the dimly lit living room, the weight of my emotions threatened to overwhelm me. The house was eerily quiet, and every tick of the clock seemed to echo through the emptiness. I glanced at my phone, hoping for a message, a call, anything that would bring some clarity to this situation. But there was nothing. I tried to distract myself by watching TV, but the images on the screen seemed distant and unimportant. My thoughts kept drifting back to my wife and her mysterious companion. Who was he? How long had this been going on? Was there something fundamentally wrong with our relationship that I hadn't noticed? As the night wore on, I found myself replaying memories of our life together. The day we met, our wedding, the birth of our children, each moment was a vivid reminder of the love we once shared. But now, it all seemed to be slipping away, replaced by a growing sense of betrayal. Just as I was about to give up and head to bed, the sound of the front door opening startled me. My wife stepped inside, her face flushed and her eyes avoiding mine. She looked different, almost as if she had been transformed by the evening's events. I could feel the tension in the air, a palpable reminder of the secrets that lay between us. We stood there in silence for a moment, the distance between us feeling like an insurmountable chasm. Finally, she spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. "We need to talk." Her words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of unspoken truths. I could see the conflict in her eyes, a mixture of guilt and resolve. For a moment, I considered turning away, avoiding the confrontation, but I knew we couldn't keep pretending everything was fine. "Okay," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. "Let's talk." She took a deep breath and sat down on the edge of the couch, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. "I know you've been wondering about what's been going on," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "And I need to be honest with you." I sat across from her, my heart pounding in my chest. This was the moment I had been dreading, yet also the one I needed to understand what had been happening. She looked down, unable to meet my gaze. "The man you've seen me with, His name is Daniel. He's someone I met through work. We've been spending time together, and things have become complicated. I felt a surge of anger and betrayal, but I forced myself to stay calm. How long has this been going on? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. A few months, she admitted, tears welling up in her eyes. It started innocently enough, just lunch breaks and work meetings. But then, it turned into something more. I didn't mean for it to happen, but I couldn't stop it. I took a deep breath, trying to process what she was saying. Do you love him? The question slipped out before I could stop it. She shook her head, her tears now flowing freely. I don't know. I care about him, but I'm so confused. I never wanted to hurt you or our family. But I felt lost. Like something was missing. Her words cut deep, but I could see the pain in her eyes, the internal struggle she had been facing. And what about us? I asked, my voice breaking. What happens now? She wiped her tears, finally meeting my gaze. I don't know, she whispered. But I want to try to make things right. I want to rebuild what we've lost, if you're willing to give me a chance. The room fell into silence as we both grappled with the enormity of the situation. There were no easy answers, no quick fixes. But in that moment, I realized that despite the pain and betrayal, I still loved her. And maybe, just maybe, there was a chance for us to find our way back to each other. I need some time, I finally said, my voice shaking. But I want to try too. She nodded, her expression a mix of relief and uncertainty. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for giving us a chance. The night stretched on, filled with difficult conversations and raw emotions. But as the dawn began to break, there was a glimmer of hope. It wouldn't be easy, but perhaps, together, we could find a way to heal and rebuild the life we had once cherished. Would you like me to continue the story further, or add any specific details? Continue the above, give long. The following weeks were filled with a whirlwind of emotions and difficult conversations. We agreed to attend couples therapy to help navigate the complexities of our relationship and to rebuild the trust that had been broken. The sessions were intense, forcing us to confront painful truths and buried feelings. But they also provided a safe space for us to communicate openly and honestly. Our therapist, Dr. Ahmed, was a calm and empathetic guide through this tumultuous journey. He encouraged us to explore the root causes of our issues and to develop healthier ways of relating to each other. Through these sessions, I began to understand the underlying factors that had led to our disconnect. We had both been caught up in the demands of work, parenting, and daily life, losing sight of the love and connection that had once been the foundation of our relationship. One evening, after a particularly challenging therapy session, we found ourselves sitting on the porch, the cool night air providing a sense of clarity. My wife, holding a cup of tea, looked at me with a vulnerability I hadn't seen in a long time. I've been doing a lot of thinking, she said softly. About us, about everything that's happened. And I realize now that I took our relationship for granted. I let my own insecurities and fears push me away from you. I reached out and took her hand, feeling the warmth of her touch. I think we both did, I admitted. But we're here now, and we're trying. That's what matters." She nodded, a small smile forming on her lips. "I've ended things with Daniel. It wasn't fair to him, to you, or to our family. I want to focus on us, on rebuilding what we've lost." Her words brought a sense of relief, but I knew there was still a long road ahead. "I appreciate that," I said, squeezing her hand gently. "And I want to rebuild, too. But it's going to take time." "One step at a time," she agreed. "We'll get through this together." As the days turned into weeks, we continued to work on our relationship, both in therapy and in our daily interactions. We made a conscious effort to spend more quality time together, rediscovering the joys of each other's company. We also made sure to prioritize our family, creating new traditions and memories that helped to strengthen our bond. There were still moments of doubt and pain, but we faced them head-on, knowing that honesty and communication were key to our healing process. Gradually, the wounds began to heal, and we found ourselves growing closer than we had been in years. One evening, as we sat together watching the sunset, I realized how far we had come. The journey had been arduous, filled with heartache and uncertainty, but it had also brought us to a place of renewed love and understanding. "Thank you for giving us a chance," my wife said, her eyes filled with gratitude. "I know it wasn't easy." I smiled, feeling a sense of contentment and hope for the future. "It was worth it," I replied. "For us, for our family. It was worth it." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the landscape, I felt a sense of peace. We had faced our darkest moments and come out stronger on the other side. And I knew that, no matter what challenges lay ahead, we would face them together, hand in hand. Months turned into seasons, and as spring gave way to summer, the renewal in nature seemed to mirror the transformation in our relationship. Our journey had been marked by tears, laughter, setbacks, and triumphs, each step bringing us closer together. Therapy continued to be a cornerstone of our healing process. Dr. Ahmed guided us through deeper layers of understanding and self-awareness. We learned to recognize and address the patterns that had contributed to our drift. The sessions were often challenging, but they were also profoundly enlightening. We discovered aspects of ourselves and each other that we had overlooked or taken for granted. In our daily lives, we made a conscious effort to nurture our relationship. We carved out time for date nights, rediscovering the joy of each other's company without the distractions of work or parenting. Sometimes, we revisited places that held special memories for us, like the park where we had our first picnic or the cafe where we had spent hours talking about our dreams. Other times, we explored new activities together, creating fresh memories that added new layers to our bond. Our children, too, sensed the changes. They seemed happier, more secure. We involved them in our journey, making sure they knew that no matter what, they were loved and cherished. We established family traditions that became the bedrock of our shared experiences. Sunday pancake breakfasts, Friday movie nights, and spontaneous weekend outings became moments of connection and joy. One weekend, we decided to take a family trip to the countryside. The rolling hills, lush greenery, and clear skies provided a perfect backdrop for relaxation and reflection. We rented a cozy cabin, where we spent our days exploring nature trails, having picnics by the lake, and stargazing at night. It was during one of these stargazing sessions that my wife and I had a heart-to-heart conversation. "I've been thinking a lot about our journey," she said, her eyes reflecting the twinkling stars above. "It's been a difficult road, but I'm grateful for where we are now." I nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude as well. "We've come a long way," I agreed. "And I'm thankful for the strength we've found in each other." She smiled, reaching for my hand. "I want to promise you something," she said. "I promise to always be honest, to communicate openly, and to never take our relationship for granted again. You and our family mean everything to me." Her words touched my heart, and I squeezed her hand in return. "I promise the same," I said. "We've faced our challenges, and will continue to face them together. Our love is worth fighting for." As the stars continued to shimmer above us, I felt a renewed sense of hope and commitment. We had navigated the stormy seas and emerged stronger, with a deeper understanding and appreciation of each other. Our journey wasn't without its struggles, but it was a testament to the power of love, resilience, and forgiveness. We learned that relationships are a continuous journey, requiring effort, patience, and a willingness to grow together. And as we looked ahead to the future, we knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, we would face them hand in hand, united by the love that had brought us back to each other. As summer faded into autumn, the changing leaves mirrored the transformation in our relationship. The vibrant reds, oranges, and yellows painted a picture of renewal and growth, a fitting backdrop for the journey we had undertaken together. Our lives continued to evolve, both individually and as a family. My wife and I found new ways to support each other's personal growth and ambitions. She pursued her passion for painting, setting up a small studio in the corner of our home, while I delved deeper into my love for writing, finally working on the novel I had always dreamed of completing. We encouraged each other, celebrated each other's achievements, and provided a steady foundation for our individual aspirations. Our children, too, flourished in the atmosphere of love and stability. We made a point to be present for their milestones, big and small. Whether it was cheering them on at school events, helping them with their homework, or simply spending quality time together, we prioritized our family above all else. One evening, as the first snowflakes of winter began to fall, we gathered around the fireplace, wrapped in cozy blankets. The crackling fire cast a warm glow, and the aroma of hot cocoa filled the air. It was a perfect moment of togetherness, a reminder of how far we had come. "Can we read a story tonight?" our youngest asked, her eyes shining with excitement. I smiled and reached for the well-worn storybook on the shelf. "Of course," I said, flipping through the pages to find their favorite tale. As I read aloud, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude for the life we had rebuilt. After the children were tucked into bed, my wife and I sat together on the couch, watching the snowflakes dance outside the window. She leaned her head on my shoulder, and I wrapped my arm around her, feeling the warmth of her presence. "I'm so grateful for us," she whispered, her voice filled with emotion. "For everything we've overcome and everything we've built together." I kissed her forehead gently, feeling a surge of love and contentment. "I am too," I replied. "Our journey hasn't been easy, but it's made us stronger. And I wouldn't trade it for anything." As the winter months passed, we continued to nurture our relationship and our family. We embraced the joys of the season, from building snowmen in the yard to cozying up with hot drinks by the fire. Each day was a testament to our resilience and commitment to one another. With the arrival of spring, a sense of renewal and hope filled the air once again. The blossoming flowers and longer days symbolized the new beginning we had created. Our love had weathered the storms and emerged stronger, deeper, and more resilient. We knew that life would continue to present challenges, but we faced them with a newfound sense of unity and strength. Our journey had taught us that love is not just a feeling but a choice to support, to forgive, to grow, and to stand by each other through thick and thin. As we looked ahead to the future, we felt a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. Our love story was not defined by the moments of hardship, but by the way we chose to overcome them together. And with each passing day, we continued to write new chapters, filled with love, joy, and the unwavering promise to cherish and support one another for all the days to come. As spring's gentle breezes gave way to the warm embrace of summer, our family settled into a rhythm that felt both comforting and rejuvenating. The journey we had embarked on months ago had transformed us in ways we couldn't have imagined. Our bond was stronger, our love deeper, and our understanding of each other more profound. Our therapy sessions with Dr. Ahmed continued to be a source of growth and reflection. Each session brought new insights and revelations, helping us navigate the complexities of our relationship. We learned to communicate more effectively, to listen with empathy, and to express our needs and desires openly. It wasn't always easy, but the progress we made was evident in the way we related to each other. One of the most significant changes was our renewed commitment to spending quality time together. We made it a point to prioritize our relationship, setting aside time for date nights, weekend getaways, and simple moments of connection. We rediscovered the joy of each other's company, finding pleasure in the little things, whether it was cooking a meal together, going for a walk in the park, or simply sitting on the porch and talking about our day. Our children thrived in the atmosphere of love and stability. We made sure to involve them in our journey, creating new traditions and memories that would strengthen our family bond. We took trips to the beach, explored hiking trails, and spent lazy afternoons playing board games. The laughter and joy that filled our home were a testament to the healing and growth we had experienced. One sunny afternoon, as we sat in the backyard watching the children play, my wife turned to me with a thoughtful expression. "I've been thinking a lot about our future," she said, her voice filled with determination. "I want to make sure we never lose sight of what's important." I nodded, understanding the significance of her words. "I feel the same way," I replied. "We've come so far, and I don't want to take any of this for granted." She smiled, reaching for my hand. "Let's make a promise to each other," she said. "Let's promise to always prioritize our relationship, to communicate openly and honestly, and to support each other through whatever challenges come our way." Her words resonated deeply with me, and I squeezed her hand gently. "I promise," I said, my voice filled with conviction. "No matter what, we'll face it together." As the months passed, we continued to honor that promise. We faced the ups and downs of life with a renewed sense of unity and purpose. Our relationship was not without its challenges, but we approached each obstacle with the confidence that we could overcome it together. One evening, as we sat by the fireplace with a glass of wine, reminiscing about our journey, my wife looked at me with a tender smile. "You know, despite everything we've been through, I'm grateful for this journey," she said. "It's brought us closer and made us stronger." I nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "I feel the same way," I replied. "Our journey has taught us so much about ourselves and each other. And it's made me realize just how much I love you." Her eyes filled with emotion, and she leaned in to kiss me. "I love you too," she whispered. "More than words can express." As we held each other, the warmth of the fire reflecting in our eyes, I knew that our love had been tested and had emerged stronger than ever. Our journey was a testament to the power of resilience, forgiveness, and unwavering commitment. And as we looked ahead to the future, we did so with the knowledge that no matter what challenges lay ahead, we would face them together, hand in hand, with a love that had stood the test of time. As we approached the one-year mark since that fateful evening, we decided to celebrate the journey we had embarked on together. It wasn't just an anniversary, it was a testament to our resilience, our love, and our commitment to one another. We planned a special weekend getaway to a quaint bed and breakfast nestled in the hills, a place where we could reflect on our journey and look ahead to the future. The drive to the bed and breakfast was filled with anticipation and a sense of excitement. As we wound our way through the scenic countryside, we talked about the memories we had created, the challenges we had overcome, and the dreams we held for the future. It was a reminder of how far we had come and how much we had grown together. Upon arrival, we were greeted by the warm hospitality of the innkeepers and the cozy charm of the bed and breakfast. Our room was beautifully decorated, with a large window that offered a breathtaking view of the surrounding landscape. It was the perfect setting for a weekend of relaxation and reflection. That evening, we enjoyed a romantic candlelit dinner in the inn's dining room. The soft glow of the candles and the delicious aroma of the meal created an atmosphere of intimacy and connection. As we toasted to our journey, we shared our hopes and aspirations for the future. "I want us to continue growing together," my wife said, her eyes shining with emotion. "I want us to always prioritize our relationship and to never lose sight of what truly matters." I nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and love. "I feel the same way," I replied. "We've built something beautiful together, and I want to continue nurturing it. Our love is worth fighting for, every single day." After dinner, we took a leisurely stroll through the inn's gardens, hand in hand. The night was clear, and the stars above seemed to sparkle with a special brilliance. It was a moment of peace and serenity, a reminder of the beauty that could be found in the simple things. As we sat on a bench, gazing up at the night sky, my wife leaned her head on my shoulder. "I'm so thankful for this journey," she whispered. "It's brought us closer and made us stronger. And I'm excited for the future we'll create together." I kissed her forehead gently, feeling a profound sense of contentment. "I am too," I said softly. "We've faced our challenges, and we've come out stronger. And I know that whatever the future holds, we'll face it together, hand in hand." The weekend passed in a blur of joy and connection. We spent our days exploring the charming town, enjoying leisurely breakfasts, and simply being present with each other. It was a time of renewal and celebration, a reminder of the love that had brought us back to each other. As we drove back home, the sun setting behind us, we felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. Our journey had been marked by trials and tribulations, but it had also been a testament to the power of love, resilience, and unwavering commitment. We knew that life would continue to present challenges, but we faced them with confidence, knowing that our love would guide us through. Back home, we settled into our familiar routines, but with a renewed sense of purpose and connection. We continued to prioritize our relationship, to communicate openly, and to support each other in every way possible. Our love had been tested and had emerged stronger, deeper, and more resilient. As we looked ahead to the future, we did so with hope and excitement. Our journey had taught us that love is not just a feeling, but a choice to stand by each other through thick and thin, to grow together, and to cherish the moments that make life truly meaningful. And with each passing day, we continued to write new chapters of our love story, hand in hand, with hearts full of gratitude and unwavering commitment. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. If you have any other stories or topics you'd like to explore, I'm here to help.